Welcome to the presidential suite.
Oh, wow. Old, musty, tackily decorated. This is the presidential suite. Wow, you've got it perfect. Oh wait, never mind. This is
Was there like
Canada.
a mob hit here or what?
Honestly,
I think that's what happened in The Shining.
Probably 50-50 shot. Honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10 times my height.
Honestly, though, I should have told you this. I don't have money, so.
And I told you from the get-go that I'm totally not interested in actually staying here.
But can I take the breath mint off the pillow? At least, you know. Is that cool?
And maybe not. It's been sitting there for about 50 years.
By the way, I'm stealing the shower shampoo.
And hi, Dark Madeline.
Oh dear.
So this is when you figure out that she's not just a dream.
A dream.
A dream thing. That there's magical, spooky shit happening and stuff. No, not really. You didn't have to say anything.
Oh, good. I was going to do that anyway. Also, she can apparently just punch through walls.
Hey, you're way cooler than I am. Why don't we play as you? He has a...
It is a dump.
Yeah, he does have a lot of dialogue here, too. It's like...
It loops, though.
It
so
does,
it's not
it
that
does
long.
loop, but...
So this guy isn't really important to the plot at all?
No, this is
He's
not really.
important with regarding to Madeline, but not as the overall plot.
It's character development, basically, for her. She's, like, you could cut this section out and it wouldn't affect the plot at all, but it is important in establishing whatever, her other self and her general personality as a whole.
Man, I was, like, sleep-baked out of my mind yesterday. I didn't realize the obvious Shining reference is the haunted hotel on a snowy mountain.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So apparently there was supposed to be another section kind of like this with the hot springs later on, where there would be a lot of swimming, and apparently the developer said, wait a minute, nobody likes water levels, why are we putting one into our game? And then they cut it, basically.
Which is fine, because I think this is a good length for a main campaign.
Yeah.
For an indie title.
I think, like, one more level wouldn't have made it drag at all, but there is a... Oh god, yeah, this guy is freaky, for the record.
You can't jump on him, though.
You can jump on him, and it makes a comical, like, boink sound effect.
Good to know. I wouldn't have tried that without knowing ahead of time.
Well, you need to on, like, the B and C sides.
You do have to jump on... There are enemies... It's weird. There aren't really a lot of enemies in this game, but in later levels there are sometimes where you do have to jump on them because jumping on them not only gives you a little bit of height, but it also refills your stamina and dash because it counts as you stepping on something. Stepping on springs and other things like that also refills your stamina as well. I'm pretty sure you need to do it for some strawberries as well.
Yes, you do.
Even in this section, so... Ah!
Wasn't quite fast enough. This is the part where... Oh, goddammit,
Nope.
I lost my dash.
You could save it! Aw!
I could have, but
No.
probably better to just reset it.
It would have, yeah, it would have been... Yeah, see, it like, gets... It's actually
Oops.
kind of comically out of character for the situation. Like, because he's spooky and then he gets, like, cartoon stars or whatever if you do manage to jump on him.
I mean, maybe that's kind of the point.
Yeah, that is the point. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I enjoy it. Oh, God. You see, what's funny is that this isn't even close to the creepiest thing in the game either, too.
No. I mean, the tip I would have for this section overall is don't rush it.
Yeah.
Ironically.
If you have a safe spot, let Oshiro just dash by and clear out the room a little bit.
He won't ever try to get you unless he's dashing either, is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're standing still, he won't, like, nom you or anything like that.
Yeah, he's not actually chasing you in the same sense as an auto-scroller would.
Yeah, he's always a set distance behind you until he decides to dash, and it's pretty telegraphed, because there's the... I hate when that happens.
Yeah, controller angles.
Oh, I thought that you pressed the dash button instead of the jump button was what happened there.
No, I was trying to dash straight ahead and I dashed upright by accident.
Okay.
That happens a lot in this game. Yes, so many meatballs.
So many Who touched on my meatball? No, that's not how the meme
Somebody touch on my meatball.
This game is actually a lot easier now that I'm looking at it if you don't go for any strawberries. So if you're having trouble, maybe go after them later when you practice some. Raw.
And everyone died. The end.
Oh, that's like the 5th time that this playthrough's ended early. God.
Well, it's needed repellers for like 50 years now, dude.
No, we just cleaned that up for you, dude. Alright. We just reorganized your library. I even used the Dewey Decimal System. And screw that guy. Alright. Oh.
That's it too.
Yeah, everybody... This game came out of nowhere, is also the thing. Like, I didn't really hear much about it when it was first... Like, when it was in development or whatever. But when it released, like, it got... like huge rave reviews all at once, which was another weird thing.
Same experience for me. I didn't hear about Celeste at all until it was already out, and you know I probably would have noticed a game like this if it had crossed my social media feed before that, because, well, you know, platformer, it's kind of my jam.
Well, this is also one of those cases where we're seeing a lot of with the Switch where it does like 10 to even 20 times better on the Switch than anywhere else.
Which is bizarre, but, you know, like, yeah, it's weird.
Well, I mean, at least with the PC part, it's because Nintendo and, for the most part, Sony and Xbox actually vet the games, unlike Steam, who lets literally anyone on.
This game also, you know, a lot of indie games tend to get a lot more hype and success if they've got like something like a Kickstarter or something like that, because a Kickstarter is effectively a month-long hype session for the game that you're about to make. That's basically what you need to do in order to get people excited enough in it to back it. As far as I can tell, I don't think Celeste had any sort of crowdfunding thing at all, and it was a really small team.
No, because Matt makes games. I looked them up. They do have some other games under their belt.
I had heard they did Towerfall, which I had heard of. I heard that it was good. I just had never played it, and I don't think that game didn't blow up nearly as much as this one did either.
No. Crazy old lady, how'd you get here?
So if she dashes, does her hair get her color back then afterwards?
Well, her dash is about 1 foot and she hurts her back doing so.
So that, but she has infinite stamina, so she just climbs the hard way.
A few crows short of a murder. That's, an interesting way of putting it.
No, she's not quite insane, but she's very weird.
Yeah, she brings that up, that you have to be a little nutty to choose to live somewhere like this, basically.
Oh, but you know, when you said it was doing well on the Switch, I had the thought that it might just be because of the kind of platform the Switch is right now. I mean, the Switch is racking up good games, yeah, but right now, like when I got my Switch, I went through the eShop, and a lot of what I saw was SNK games and indie titles.
Yeah, indie titles are doing particularly well, but it's not even just new stuff. There was Super Meat Boy got a port to the Switch, and
it did better than the initial Xbox Live version.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a lot of pre-existing indie stuff that got ported over all at once, and it's really good for that platform in particular because of the combined, you know, television, console, and handheld capabilities. A lot of these kind of games are really well made for that sort of thing. Like, they work honestly just as well as console games, and and portable at the same time. So
Hi, Mario 2.
Oh boy. This might be my least favorite level gimmick in the game, the wind.
Nobody likes wind.
Yeah.
pushing against the wind in a platformer is always a bit of a chore.
They do like, oh, the wind pushes up, the wind pushes down, so it's not just you moving really slowly, like, oh,
Hi, Caro.
everybody, was playing, I remember that, it's like everybody was playing this game at the same time, it was nuts. But yeah, so sometimes, like, the wind will make you jump higher, or jump lower, or will speed up your
Push
stuff.
you forward a lot.
Yeah, but I think another part of it is with why games like these do so well on the console. Like, one, there's just a lot of hype around the Switch in general, but also, I think people have been kind of programmed to think of these games as handheld games, for lack of a better word. Like, again, there's nothing really about Celeste that would mean that it needs to be played on a handheld to be enjoyable. In fact, there's a lot of people who were really happy when stuff like 2D Mario made a return to consoles, or who want 2D Zelda to return to consoles, and not just to be relegated to handhelds, for lack of a better word. But with that said, I think people are kind of, after years of stuff like the Game Boy Advance, DS, and PSP, all really kind of pushing a lot of like 2D platformers were relegated to just a handheld thing for a long time, really until the indie scene and the download game scene became huge. Like, there was a good 10-year gap where if you wanted to play a good 2D platformer, you basically had to do it on the Game Boy Advance or DS. Pretty much.
It wasn't even just specific genres. Like, if a franchise was less popular for a while, basically, if it was perceived by the publisher as something that would not sell well at full price, then it would be handheld focused. Stuff like Valkyria Chronicles 2, for example. Or,
Well, another thing I want to potentially bring up is the Switch's lack of big third party, in a sense.
Yeah, like
the indies are kind of taking the place of a lot of third party companies, because while, yeah, it's getting a lot of ports, there are a lot of late-to-the-party ones.
Yeah, like stuff like Dark Souls, which is like a 4-year-old game, and things like that, you know?
So it's a lot of, okay, here are the new third-party games, and they just happen to be indies. And yeah, this is kind of the one guide thing, one where you have to know your Mario 3 to get this heart.
I mean, granted, it's kind of frustrating, because on one hand, if you played platformers and you're like someone like us, of course you're going to know this Mario 3 secret. But at the same time, you always kind of want to design games with the idea that, you know, somebody could be playing this, like a kid could be playing this or something or whatever.
Well, not necessarily. You don't even need to go that far. Mario 3 is a game that's how many years old now?
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
30. Yeah. You know how old I am? 30. There's a lot of people that are a hell of a lot younger than me playing this game.
Yeah, like if they were going to call back, like I wouldn't mind it if it was just like a cosmetic thing, but you need to do that in order to get a heart.
Get the heart.
Yeah, and I mean, granted...
On the other hand, though, that Mario 3 secret was, you know, just as obtuse in Mario 3.
It's kind of one of those things that's only, like, because it's obtuse and everybody is kind of told it to everyone else, we all know it now. It's like, duh, you don't know that you can duck on the white platform? Gosh, like, what kind of gamer nerd are you? Jesus. I hate that strawberry, for the record. There
are worse ones.
I'm not really good at timing the moving platforms very well.
The moving platforms are one of my least favorite gimmicks in the game.
So, the strawberries are basically the green stars on fucking crack.
Kind of.
Yeah.
They do affect the ending very slightly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that much.
Oh, can you make it? Damn it! You almost were able to save
Not
that
quite.
too. But yeah, I do like the bubbles though, although they do cooler stuff with them in later levels.
Next stage, even.
Yeah. This game does a lot of, okay, this level will have this gimmick, and we'll explore it basically as thoroughly as possible, and then we're gonna leave it alone until the B-side. Basically.
Yeah, which is weird, because that means the game has a little bit of a weird difficulty curve.
Yeah, depending.
And at the start, and at the first couple rooms of a stage will be pretty easy comparative to what you just did.
Yeah, which I mean,
because they're always doing that thing where they introduce and teach a new mechanic, and then get harder with it.
Yeah, basically. Which I mean is fine. Honestly, a game should not be. I think we've talked about this at some point before, but a game should not be a linear line of difficulty because that's frustrating. It needs to kind of wave upwards, if that makes sense.
That's not necessarily the only way it can go or should go, but when you're dealing with multiple mechanics, it is at the very least best to do the player teaching thing organically, which Celeste seems to have down.
Because you can do linear progression just fine. A lot of the older Mario games are exactly like that, and they're still really good games.
Yeah. Which Grand Theft Auto game was it that had that tutorial problem? Was it 4? I think it was 4. There's like a bajillion mechanics that all got tutorialed all at once. It was
4 is the one where Nico wants you to go bowling, right?
Roman wants you to go bowling.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Nico's who you play as, and Roman wants to go bowling with Nico. Okay.
Yeah, that one has like a million different things you can do in the game, and the game's like, we better just dump this all on you at once.
Is 4 still considered the best GTA, or are people still
I think 5 it might be.
5 is a better overall game, but it has so much shit going on with the online and all this other crap.
Okay.
Most people I know, if they go back to just play a game they really like in the GTA franchise, they're usually going back to either Vice City or San Andreas.
San Andreas is 3, right?
San Andreas is the game after 3 that was kind of like a 3.5.
I thought Vice City was 3.5.
3.7.
They're both kind of they're both kind of the same.
They're the Ezio trilogy of Grand Theft Auto. Okay.
Oh, okay. So, so Grand Theft Auto Episode 1, Grand Theft Auto Episode 2, Grand Theft Auto 6. Nah, that won't ever happen. But here you can
because Rockstar doesn't make games anymore.
Yeah,
they're happy to make all their money from GTA Online.
I do hear or see mostly the online for GTA 5, but I remember hearing a lot of good things about its single-player campaign when it first came out.
It's
yeah, and Rockstar promised DLC for that and never did.
You see, it's funny, though, because there is actually a GTA Online, as far as I remember, and I just don't ever hear anybody talking about that game anymore, but I hear people talking about GTA 5, so I kind of was wondering, wait,
Well, GTA 5 is GTA Online.
Oh, it is?
GTA
Okay.
Online is a game attached to GTA 5, much like Metal Gear Online was attached to 3 and 4.
Huh.
And possibly 5. I'm not sure if they kept the title thing going.
Huh, okay.
It's effectively just the main part of 5 at this point.
Okay.
Well, as far as marketing is concerned, if you're gonna buy 5, you're probably gonna play the single player first. Well, unless you're one of those gamers who doesn't care about single player, in which case, more power to you, but I don't understand your life choices.
Well, GTA, I think, is a decent game to become kind of an online kind of thing, because the big appeal of GTA is just screwing around anyway. So, that works in an online setting.
That's a thing, but as far as I know, the online is...
It has like
basically
missions and stuff. Yeah.
You pick a mission, you go to it, or get warped to it, I suppose, and in that sense, it's kind of like a better version of what Final Fantasy 15 is doing with its online, where it's just kind of it takes place in the single player's open world, but it's not really open world. It's more like you get warped to a place to do a thing, and then you're done.
Neat.
Although I think it integrates better in GTA Online, a hell of a lot better. At least then, compared to the last time I tried Final Fantasy 15 Comrades.
God.
Yeah. Stupid wind.
Feel
my wind.
I'm generally, I mean, granted,
Nope.
I understand why it's here, but it's usually not as fun to do the sections where the wind is pushing against you, as opposed to the section where the wind is... where you've got a tailwind instead.
No, it just feels like you're really struggling to do even the most basic things.
Which is the point.
The wind is blowing a lot harder here.
Yeah.
A lot harder.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, Ryan, you're right, but I also understand that that's the point of this section is to feel
that doesn't make it fun, though. But
I mean,
this isn't... you're climbing around...
You're
climbing a mountain, Ryan. This isn't about fun. Gosh, man. You baby gamers and your entitlement.
It looks like it's blowing so hard that you literally can't get forward momentum without dashing.
You can't really.
You kind of tiptoe forward as long as you're holding the.
Yeah, but I mean like in the air, which is where you are most of the time.
Yeah, no, you get pushed back in those rooms.
Yeah, you can. I think you can. You can't. You can kind of like if you're holding the opposite direction as far as possible. I think you still move in the direction of the wind, but just barely. Basically.
Man, I can see why this game took off, though. I mean, you guys are saying that this doesn't look fun, but this looks like cocaine to me.
It's not.
It's still fun. We're just making fun of the annoying wind mechanic. I
think I would really like the wind mechanic because I enjoy crazy obstacle platforming with weird gimmicks. Gimmicks can also be really fucking annoying when they're not balanced properly, but this looks like it's fine. I can't speak for the B or C sides.
We're not doing any B or C sides.
So I guess here's the thing. It's engaging, I guess is the better way to put it. Like, it's not not every part of this game is fun. Like, I mean, plowing through, like, level 1 or 2 is fun because it's like, wait, look how cool I am. Jump, jump, jump. The hard parts of this game are maybe not so much fun, but they're engaging in that you really do want to beat it sort of way. It's
no Mario 2 in terms of wind mechanics. This is at least balanced to what you're trying to do in the game.
It doesn't ever feel like the control, it's so extreme that the control is bad, ever. The only thing that I would say makes you dislike the controls is once you get to like B-side 7, Ryan and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, they introduce a mechanic that it's like you have to jump while wall dashing in order to do crazy stuff, and it's just really finicky. But again, you're only gonna get that point if you can get through the first 6 B-sides.
If you know it's there, you can do it on any wall in like the A sides. The problem is the game just doesn't tell you about it.
Yeah,
you get to that point because you don't need it.
If you know how to do it, you can skip a lot of crap too. Is also the thing. But it's one of those things. Is once you get way late into B-sides, you actually need to do it in order to beat the stages. And it's really hard, basically, which I know is the point, granted, but it's a little too much, I think, basically.
Well, physically hurt anyway.
How many years do you think it'll be before people can talk these kind of meme lines and not sound ridiculous? In stories, I mean.
I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where whenever you try to use lingo that is actually modern, you feel like you're going to be dated, is the thing. Like, if you try to... Oh, I love this scene. But it's like, if you actually try to use language that people used in, like, the 90s or whatever, it sounds ridiculous because nobody talks like that anymore. But there was a time when people actually did talk like that. It's weird because we expect different things in stories than what we expect in real life. Something can be completely realistic writing wise in real. Oh god. Oh wow. Oh, I only just noticed they use these little things on the sides.
Is she having a panic attack?
Yes,
she is.
Basically.
This is when they just straight up confirm that she has massive anxiety problems.
And the way that they portray it in the game is honestly, like, perfect. Like, if you know somebody who wants to understand what it's like to go through an anxiety disorder or a panic attack, then this is a great kind of game to show them, to get them to understand what it's like. Because it's honestly, at some points, so powerful it can be overwhelming. Like,
it's certainly more effective than that crap they did in the SAO anime. That just did not work in animated form. I'm sorry.
Nope.
And it's what's actually really cool is that this feather thing is, I believe, kind of...
You actually are controlling it.
You are controlling it, but I believe it is also based off of several distraction/coping techniques that real psychology things use. Like, they tell people who are actually... Like, maybe not the specific feather metaphor, but they do kind of... This is very similar to that.
There are several techniques, so to say. Like, Jessica Jones has that thing where she repeats street signs.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of thing.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, man, now I'm remembering the episode where she Oh God, Jessica! I need to watch season 2, but that also means I have to watch Luke Cage and then Iron Fist.
Luke Cage is pretty good.
Yeah.
I haven't watched
No.
Iron Fist though.
You see, here's the
And
thing.
I hear season 2 isn't very good anyway.
I haven't
Jessica,
looked.
unfortunately.
I haven't looked it up, so I'm not sure. But it's just like I just kind of forgot to watch Luke Cage, but now I'm kind of stalling because I know that after Luke Cage I have to watch Iron Fist, which
Honestly, you don't need to watch Iron Fist. You can skip straight to the Defenders. I had no problem following the Defenders.
I forgot that's so. They got that selfie. But yeah, but I'd feel bad because I've watched every other MCU thing, and if I can sit.
Well, you don't have to watch. You don't have to skip it entirely. Just you don't necessarily.
Oops.
Oh,
the game crashed.
Yep.
oh, that's like Crash Bandicoot all over again.
Okay, so the game didn't crash for me, but at one point in the level after this, I kind of like there's a falling platform, and I dashed upwards into the screen, and the game soft lock, and Madeline would just kind of like floated there for a while, and I would have recorded it, but that game didn't have capture support, so unfortunately, it's lost to the ether. Oh, to nose.